Welcome to EP 15 of the Miles Pod. I hope you've been enjoying these episodes and getting something from them. Today's episode is going to be all about you. I'm going to share with you several different gig economy related apps and show you how to get a Tesla for $0. Yes, $0. Zero. This is going to be the hack of the year. Again, I have Turo hacks. I have Uber rider hacks. So Uber drivers are going to get very, very upset with me. Very upset. And this is all for you to show you how to get to those next levels in your finances using gig economy hacks here. So let's get into the Miles Pod. Oh, yeah. So I want to just address a couple things here. The Uber CEO, Dara, actually visited Chicago recently. This was tweeted out by the Tribune, where he said, quote, "We are trying to essentially, there's a driver shortage, which is the reason why we're driving up Uber prices." This is so far from the truth. And I'm praying that Uber will finally just start to go down a straight and narrow road when it comes to these publications and press. So he's already made an egregious statement before where he said that the average driver is making $37 an hour while failing to not mention that that's not after expenses. So if you include expenses, it brings that drastically down. And now, especially, Uber is taking more and more of the actual payout. And so that's what's actually causing the reason for them to drive up the price, because more drivers are declining rides. And so BPM4532, that's the handle on Twitter, tweeted this out, which echoes my statement. And he said, "It's not a driver shortage per se, but that Uber has recently started paying its drivers less while Uber raises prices. Drivers are declining lots of rides that Uber offers ridiculous payout offers. I've been hearing this from lots of drivers." So a little botched up here, but I get the point. That's exactly what's going on. Exactly, to the T. Their rides are not lucrative enough because guess what? We can now see what we're being paid for the most part. And except the tip, we can't see if you're tipping us or not. We can see how much the ride is going to pay us and where we're going. And so if we see that we're only getting paid $6 for a 45-minute ride, we're declining that sucker. So what Uber is trying to do is they're trying to recruit new drivers who don't understand the difference between a good ride and a bad ride, and they're going to accept those terrible rides. So that's their answer. Give a little $900, credit to drivers for recruiting new drivers, and they're going to have people pick up these terrible paying rides because they just don't know any better. So there's a way to attack and make good money on Uber, and you should reach out to me if you want to learn how to do this so that you don't get caught up in this drama and you don't get caught up making only $11 an hour, which can be you on this platform if you're not seasoned and you're not reaching out to people like me for advice. So I want to get into the hacks now. Okay, I know. Let me just stop. I hate when people go on YouTube and you watch their stuff and they do a 10-minute intro about their lives. And you're like, I just want to know how to make cookies in 5 minutes. Get to the point. I'm getting to the point. All right. I'm getting to the point. So here's the first set of Uber rider hacks. So if you want to save some money Ubering, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to get my Uber driver cool pass revoked for giving you this info, but forget it. You guys deserve to learn how to, get a few hacks under your sleeve and save some money this holiday season. So here we go. Okay. Schedule the ride versus booking it now. So if you book a ride that's more on demand, right? You need the ride now. Chances are that ride is going to have a bit of surge to it because the algorithm knows that you need that ride now. It's something that you can't wait for. So that's why if you schedule it even 5 minutes in advance, most of the time that does the trick to bring down the cost. If it's obvious that the ride costs more. So keep in mind, let's say you're going to work, you go to work every day at 8 a.m. The algorithm, the app knows that you take a ride at that time and go to that destination. So what you'll generally see is the price slowly goes up. And then one day it's just crazy, like Monday or Friday. It's just through the roof, right? Because the algorithm knows. So to get around this, if you just do a scheduled ride instead of going at 8 o'clock, you go at 8:05, that typically will bring down the price to what you should be paying for it. Another thing, and a writer actually taught me this, and I get kudos to him. Kudos. Because I was like, there's something wrong with this ride. This doesn't make any sense. This guy got me, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. Because I will try to serve him the best way I can. Maybe he'll tip, and it'll make up the difference every way. But here's another tip for saving money on your Uber. Check it, check it, check it. Go ahead, schedule or book your ride, but your location is going to be a little bit further out, maybe like a block or two from where you actually need to be picked up. Okay, so let me explain this. So you book the ride, your pickup location is a couple blocks away from where you're actually at. As your driver accepts and makes his way to you, reach out to them, maybe 3 minutes or less. Reach out to them and say, hey, the Uber app is acting funny. I'm actually at this location, which is just a block away. Could you pick me up from there instead? For some reason, I can't update the location. Most of the time, the driver will say, that's totally fine. You may get a few that refuse or tell you, hey, you need to update it in the app. You need to update in the app. You may get that, but chances are, I'd say about 98% of drivers will be okay with that. And so why would you do this? If you're in a surge area, let's say you're in Wicker Park, always surge, right? Always a surge. If you put your pin just a little bit outside that, that Milwaukee, North Avenue, Damon area, if you put it just a little bit outside, you'll end up not paying that ridiculous surge. So try that. Try scheduling the ride. And then here's another one. We can tell, this is the third hack. You ready for the third hack? I'm giving you a lot of hacks. I got two. I got this one and another one. Here's the third one. We can see, as drivers, we can see if you have multiple stops put in the app when you book your ride. As a driver, I do not like multiple stops. I don't like it because most of the time people take forever. They want to go through a drive-through, and it just slows you down, ruins your pace, and you don't get into that flow state that you want as a driver. So I will usually decline rides where it's indicated in the app when I'm accepting if there's multiple stops. That's just me. But if I pick up a passenger and they update the ride once they get in, I'm forced to do it. There's nothing I can do about that. It's honest. It's like, well, it happens all the time. Well, if you're going a particularly far distance, let's say you need to go to Rockford, you're going to get a lot of drivers declining to take you. So your best bet is to choose a destination that's maybe 10 to 15 minutes south of Rockford. It's a little bit more reasonable to drive to. And then once you get in the car and you've been in there for about 10 minutes, go, hey, do you mind if I just update the destination? I think we're going maybe 10 to 15 minutes further. And then the driver would say, oh, yeah, that's okay. Because you've already, you've been cordial. You've been polite the first 10 minutes of the ride. It's fine. That's all right. You update it and boom, you choose Rockford. Now you've been able to successfully get to your destination without waiting an hour for a driver to accept. Okay, because again, we can see where we're going now. But if you update the ride in the car, what can we say to that? What are we going to do? Pull over on 90 West and say, get out? We can't do that. So we're trapped at that point. So that's how you can effectively trap us. Okay. And yeah, drivers are coming for me. They're coming for me. All right. Now the last one. Connect your Marriott Bonvoy account to Uber. You can get points. And so this will help you get discounts when you stay at a Marriott or a Marriott affiliated place. So that's the last one. Make sure you understand you can get points for using Uber. It's smart to go ahead and attach a credit card that builds up points and then connect if you have a Marriott Convoy account and credit card, that's probably the super hack, right? Now, Turo, I want to talk about Turo. Let's talk about Turo. I like Turo. I think Turo is amazing, is a hero, is a phenomenal platform. There was a time when trying to get a car through Hertz was like, you couldn't. As a regular, just trying to rent a car, let's say you're going to Orlando, going to Disney, it was so expensive. So expensive. So Turo was a great option because all you need to do is, just sign, just like Airbnb, and you can get into a house. You don't got to go through credit checks and, put down $300,000 deposit, none of that. So Turo's a great option to make money. And I'm going to share with you some Turo hacks. First of all, with your listings, stop including these hidden prices, these hidden fees. Like, oh, if you drive more than 50 miles, you got to pay me an extra $20 a day. No. Stop that. Make it a frictionless experience when it comes to understanding how much a customer is going to pay to rent your car. Make it very easy and user-friendly. So say in your listing, this is the true price for $40 a day. True price. No hidden fees. That puts me at ease because when I tried to book Turo, what happened was I found great deals, but after all the little hidden expenses, the cleaning fees up front and the mileage fees, it was more than getting a car from Enterprise. It was ridiculous. So that's what you can do to establish trust with people who are exploring the platform and need to go ahead and utilize a car. Second thing, and this is the hack of the decade with Turo. Are you ready? Hold on to your britches. Put on your seatbelt. Put it on. Clickety click. Click it or tick it. And get ready to make some crazy dough. Reach out to Airbnb hosts, partner with them, and see if you could do a partnership to have your car at their properties to make it accessible to their guests to utilize a car during their stay. So what you can say is, hey, I'm such and such. I have this many cars on Turo. I'm wondering if I can include my car as part of your listing so that your guests can actually have an accessible vehicle that's on site and they can drive it and they can just go through Turo and book through me. So that's one way. You could also pitch to a group of hosts or to a specific host and say, hey, if you pay me, this amount of money per month, I'll let my car exist on your property and your guests can use it as they wish while they book with you. I think the first one is probably a little bit better than trying to go after the hosts and make them your customers. I think they would be more than willing to allow your vehicle on their properties. And you could do a bunch of you could do a group of properties and whichever guest book, they get it. So you're going to have to be a little, you're going to have to add some strategy in how you manage the booking and schedule everything out. But totally genius, right? Because that's guaranteed traffic, especially if you're doing your research and you're seeing the occupancy percentage of that particular property using something like Air DNA, do that, and I promise you're going to succeed. Last thing, you could hotel your car, right? You could actually probably put your car on Airbnb and keep it at a TMP rideshare lot that's open 24 hours. There's drivers there, so it's always safe. And drivers sleep in those lots all the time, and they're right by the airport. And then if your client needs to, if you list this on Airbnb and they need a ride to the airport, which in these rideshare lots, they're only 7 minutes away from the airport, there's drivers in there. So they just book an Uber and they just drive right over there. It's so simple. So they can literally, if you have a Model X, Tesla, Model X, or Model Y, I can get some coffee. I'm so excited I'm losing my voice. So if you have those cars actually have a camp mode. So it's like it optimizes the car for sleeping inside of it. You put a little, they have like a fireplace tool in the toolbox that you could put up, and put a little mat back there, covers, get a little blinds, and people could literally sleep in your car overnight, because nobody's using your car overnight, right? They could go to your car, sleep in it. You could open up your car from your app. Remember, you could do that. And sleep in the back of your car and pay you $25, $30 to do it. And then they could book an Uber and go to the airport. So utilize those TMP lots. Even if you're trying to offer a premium pickup service, which is like, hey, I can drop the car off at the airport for you for an extra $30. You can leave the car in the TMP lot half the time, or most of the time, 98% of the time. Those places they're not managed. There's nobody really going through there and saying, hey, what the heck is this car doing in here? That does not happen because there's cars constantly in there. So what you can do is just leave the car there. The customer takes a Uber from the airport to the lot, and then they get right in your car from there. I'm telling you, that is going to blow your mind. That is going to do wonders for you. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm going to show you how to get a Tesla Model X or Model Y for free. And I'm only going to take 1 minute to explain this to you. I've taken too much of your time, and I want to give it to you back. So here we go. Folgers, come on, use this guy. Maxwell, come on, use this guy. Okay, Hertz, the Hertz rental program through Uber. You can get yourself a Tesla for $0 down. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this like Maniscalco. So all you got to do is go through the sign up to be a driver. Uber driver, say you want to rent a car. Once you get approved, your background check goes through, you added all your payout information, you get approved as a driver. You go get yourself a Hertz car. Uber will give you a $40 credit to make your way to the Hertz location. You're going to have to be patient once you get there because there's a lot of drivers and not enough Hertz people. But I promise you'll get into a car. Now, what they do is they authorize $400 to $600 on a credit card, but they don't take it. They authorize it. So you're not putting any money down whatsoever. And you pay it 28 days later when you return the car or whenever you want. You can return it the next day if that's what you want. But they don't charge you until you return the car. And all your charging fees, you just go right up to any supercharger. There's a bunch of them. It's all pre-programmed in the Tesla. You just tap the little lightning bolt on your screen on the right and choose a location and boom, you go right there. It preconditions your battery so you save time and money charging, and then you pay for all your charging fees 28 days later. And it takes them like 3 to 5 business days to charge your card. So the cost will be close to like $1,800 to $1,900 depending on how much you charged. But zero money down. No credit check. No lease down payment. No 30, 40, 50, 10, 20. No down payment whatsoever. Just, I need to authorize $400 to $600 on your card, and you're walking away with a brand new Tesla 2022. You're in the real estate. You pull up to that appointment in a Tesla. You got some meetings. You need to be impressionable when you show up somewhere in a car. Boom. So what I want you to do, go into the description area of this video, this episode, and you sign up for Uber. Get you a Tesla. Zero money down. This is Miles Shockley, the TheMilesPod. That's it. God bless you. God bless you, sir. You, ma'am. You, king. You, queen. They. God bless they. Bye.
Give it to me like